Salute, salute, salute. Bow. What's happening? Nocturnal Thoughts. Real quick video that I'm gonna get out the way. Was listening to Shawn Porterway podcast, and he had some people sending in some, super thanks, super chats, whatever that be, as to a question, he had to answer him, and he did his best, I feel like, to tell the naked truth, maybe a well-dressed lie, maybe a little bit of a tacky dressed lie, but I feel like Shawn Porter, whenever he is asking questions about his fight between Terrence Bud Crawford and Errol Spence, this man is a walking, talking contradiction. I feel as though, he's still somewhat in denial, or he's doing his best not to admit that he thinks Spence is going to edge out and beat Terrence Bud Crawford. He says things like, I was talking to my dad, and my dad said, why didn't you train? Now, this is his dad, and he a daddy's boy. So he still be like, my dad, daddy. Like when my pops was alive, I used to call my pops pops. You know what I'm saying? As my father. And then when I talk to him, what's up, pops? Not my dad. But why would his dad is still trying to school him? He's like, why didn't you train for Terrence Bud Crawford the way you trained for Errol Spence? And he's saying, I did train hard for Terrence Bud Crawford. My heart rate was the same. But then you say, your dad said, after you run, I want you to go swim. And you say, you didn't go swim. You didn't want to go swim.
Is in unacceptable condition! Unacceptable!
Contradiction. You say, your dad was like, I want you to do this, and I want you to go spar. You say in your mind, I wanted to save and reserve my energy to go fight Terrence Bud Crawford. I don't feel like I need to do all this sparring. I've been there and done that. So your dad said go spar. You say you didn't spar. Your dad said you didn't train hard. You said you didn't. You did train hard, but you just admitted that you didn't do the stuff he told you to do. Contradiction.
Unacceptable!
You say you trained just as hard for Terrence Bud Crawford as you trained for your other fights. But your dad said he was a big bad wolf, but you didn't think he was the big bad wolf. He was just a regular dude. But then you say, in hindsight, you seen that Terrence Bud Crawford from the first press conference was already on the level and switched on. And you realize you wasn't.
I am not Greece! This is unacceptable!
What? What's going on?
You did not switch on. You did not level up for that fight. And that's what we've been saying, that you did not level up. You did not turn on that switch. And you just said you recognize that Bud was already switched on, already turned that switch to be on that level, and you didn't. That is a contradiction. And then they ask you, did Errol Spence take something away from you when you finished fighting? Was you not the same Shawn Porter? We don't know your body. We don't know. You know your body better than we know your body. But you said, I was more exhausted. If you look at me, I was more exhausted after my win against Andre Berto. But I was fine. I was more energized after I fought Errol Spence, after I fought Keith Thurman, and after I fought Terrence Bud Crawford. I felt good. So what I'm saying is, in the fights that you won, you had to totally exhaust yourself. And you felt totally exhausted after a victory. But in the fights that you came up short, you didn't go the extra mile. You felt fine. You still had some gas in the tank. That is
Unacceptable!
contradiction. I salute Shawn Porter, hell of a fighter, hell of a resume, hell of a person. Period, point blank. I salute him and I respect him. But I feel like when he fought Errol Spence, we seen one of the best versions of Shawn Porter, because in the mental place and in his heart and in his balls and through as a gladiator, he was in a total different mind space, on a total different level, and you seen him fight his absolute heart out. And you can't just keep doing that all the time. You didn't really have to do that with Keith Thurman. You fought, but you didn't fight even with the same passion and the same heart, in my opinion, as when you fought against Errol Spence. You take it down a notch a little bit more, you definitely didn't put the same heart into this fight in training or into the actual fight against Terrence Bud Crawford. And it's understandable. I still respect you 100%. It's just that the triangle theory don't work anyway. But if we had, because we didn't know we was gonna get the fight, we always had to have some kind of a theory, and the theory was kind of the best we could do was gonna be based around Shawn Porter, because that would be the best common denominator, the best common opponent, because we know about the Kell Brooks situation. I'm not gonna go there, but Shawn Porter was supposed to be a true, you know what I'm saying, barometer to see what it would look like between, now we don't have to even do that no more, because we don't see them actually fight. And they both gonna be switched on. They both gonna be on that level. It's both gonna be, you know what I'm saying, two undefeated, you know, best of the best going at each other. Salute to Shawn Porter. I hope for you to have nothing but continued success on the Porter Way podcast. That's Nocturnal Thoughts. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments below. Bow.
Contradictions.
To me it seems that's what life's all about. That's what life's all about. My convictions,
My convictions, girl.